So what you gonna do, brother? We about to run wild with a style like no other. So somebody call Brodus Clay mother and tell her Richard runs other men like Ed Lover and Doc Dre. What Scott say, what they hang on every word like it's something that the Rock say. No JR, but they talking wrestling. We bring the noise with the boys, so we Dalton Castling. So masculine, oozing machismo, mutton chop shop, Gran Turismo. No free throws, snarl hoops and heels. It's D-Bron's retirement, give you the super feels. Straight shoot, it's real. Drop a pipe bomb, get ready to bull like the Rock's right arm. So stay calm, tranquilo. I'll go Naito and give him Destino. And we know that you chumps ain't ready for the heartbreak runs and the Cuban Genetti. They drop it heavy, tag team it like Teddy. Long go strong with the heat like Eddie. So steady like when Taker walked the tightrope. Spaz like Taz with the mic in a tight choke. Dirtiest player in the game with the eye poke. 1988 Macho Man on a lot of coke. These other cats are a waste, they boring. Illegitimate sons like Jason Jordan. And Richard Runz never give him respect unless they going on air with a broken frickin' neck. So bounce like Papa Pump's pecs. Every time they get down, they bound to catch wreck. Y'all don't know nada. They the Okadas, you're the Washington Generals, they the Globetrotters. A whole lot of podcasts in the scene, but Richard Runz running wild is the cast of your dreams. So it seems these two is too sweet. Bullet Club pulling up with schemes to delete. So retreat, we steal, we cheat, but I never lie, I swear on these beats. And these two got some styles for you, but what you gonna do when they run wild on you?
Oh, hell yeah. It's the Big Dog Red Titus, and you're listening to the Running Wild podcast. Because if you're trying to run wild, this is the place to do it.
Do you want to let everyone know that you get it? Do you not want to be a Melvin? Well, then listen to the Running Wild podcast. And if you don't, you know what you are.
I'm the last real man, Silas Young. And if you're any kind of man, you'll be listening to the Running Wild podcast.
Hi guys, this is Mandy Leon, and you're listening to the Running Wild podcast.
This is Sam Adonis, El Orgullo de las Chicas, the CMLL, and you are listening to the Running Wild podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Running Wild Podcast. I'm your host, Rich. Alongside me, as always, my co-host, Runz.
Yes, sir.
Before we get started, so remind you that we're brought to you in partnership with pwpodnews.com, ROHworld.com, and lastwordonprowrestling.com, and we're featured on the Wrestling to the Max network. All right, so another slogging week for WWE on the way towards Money in the Bank, which will be next weekend. We'll be doing full previews next week of that show, but this week seemed a little slow in terms of WWE. But however, outside of WWE, New Japan had their Dominion show, which is essentially the second biggest show of the entire year. So we'll be delving into that. Of course, there are some Being the Elite implications we can discuss a little bit, and something that I know everybody wants to hear a lot about, the craziness going down in Mexico with CMLL and AAA, but we'll leave that to the end, because but I think that's the most exciting part of the show for Runz over here, so we will get started with New Japan. So first of all, did you watch the show live? Because I know it was...
No, so I set my alarm for 3 in the morning, and I went to sleep at like 12. I was like, all right, I'll wake up in 3 hours, I'll watch the show, and I'll go back to sleep. But yeah, so I woke up at 3 in the morning. I put it on, and it was like show and yo, and I was just like, by the time these actual matches start, it's going to be 5 o'clock in the morning. So that's what I should have done, was set my alarm for like 5 a.m. And then I probably would have caught, everything that was of importance. But, I just woke up and caught it as they were uploading it to New Japan World. So that was a little dangerous.
Yeah, I have the pleasure of being woken up very early to talk about Rescue Bots and Transformers. So I was up at about 7. So I actually just joined the event. I basically started it, put it on, and then rewound a little bit so that I could catch some of it. So I didn't catch all of the I didn't see all the tag matches live and everything. I went back and saw the show and yo stuff, which is there was no bad match on the card. It's just the last for me, the card was the last 4 matches.
I'm not sure of the number, But yeah, that sounds about right.
You know, the junior heavyweight title match, the heavyweight tag title match, Jericho Naito, and of course Omega versus Okada.
Yeah, and the 6-man wasn't bad, but it was, it was what it was. The names involved made you watch it,
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see Rey in a one-on-one match. I mean, I feel, wasn't that what was supposed to happen before he got injured?
Right, yeah, he was supposed to fight Liger, I believe, before he got hurt. But I think this could have just been introduction to the audience, so to speak.
Yeah.
And now we'll see him in a one-on-one in San Francisco.
I think you're right about that because I think the original show was booked in Los Angeles, correct?
Yeah, that was the Long Beach, whatever.
Yeah, the Long Beach. So
Yeah.
Mysterio versus Liger in Long Beach is a draw. Mysterio versus Liger in
Well, I
Japan,
mean,
I don't
it is
think it's-
anywhere, but the crowd wasn't like super crazy, no pun intended, for Rey Mysterio. So, it makes sense that they introduced him in this way.
I mean, I thought the crowd was pretty dandy for him.
They were El Dandy.
Sorry, I could just keep going. I was going to try to keep this going with more random WCW Lucha references. Yeah, no, I like the mask he had, the tiger mask thing. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. But yeah, we can. I mean, I guess if you want to just run through the start of the show, and then we'll break down these for a little more.
Yeah, so you had, I don't really know the guy, you had Roppongi 3K versus Desperado.
Kanemaru and Desperado.
Yeah, I don't really know much about those
Desperado
two.
and Kanemaru.
What are those guys? I mean, they looked pretty good, but I mean, I didn't know. I thought New Japan was building, or had been building, really, Roppongi 3K to be the guys who were the champions.
Right, and they were, and Kanemaru and Desperado, they cheated to win, I believe. And so, whatever, they're the Suzuki Gun and all that stuff. So it's fine. It's a good, heels for Roppongi 3K to be feuding with now and, getting over with.
Yeah, and then you had Juice Robinson, David Finlay. I like this tag team. I like Juice Robinson. I think he's good. Versus Jay White and Yoshihashi. This one was fine. Nothing I thought amazing, but it sets up. It seems like it's setting up Robinson versus White, possibly.
Right, exactly. It sets up Robinson and Jay White again, probably for San Francisco.
Then you got Suzuki and Sabre Jr. versus Yano and Ishii. I don't like any match really with Toru Yano in it, so.
No, but it's cool to see Sabre and Suzuki, as a team, as just boys. Like it's it's always fun, and the afterwards stuff with Suzuki and Ishii was fine, and continues their stuff, sets up for further things. So that's perfectly fine.
Yep. Then you had a never open weight title match: Goto versus Taichi versus Elgin. Elgin sporting a new non-singlet, I suppose, look.
Non-singlet, looking jacked. I enjoyed the freshened up look. And we discussed it a little bit off air. Elgin is always someone that I've kind of had a love-hate relationship with. Like I enjoy watching him because I enjoy rooting against him. But I know that he's good enough in the ring and he's a powerful dude and all that kind of stuff, so it's believable. So I enjoy watching Elgin wrestle. So I liked seeing him get the win here. I thought it made sense. The New Japan crowds love him. Basically just Scott Norton 2.0 for them.
Well, yeah.
So, it's definitely something that sets up for their, expansion into the U.S., right? When you have all of these non-Japanese champions, which is kind of strange.
I mean, if there was ever... It's almost like if WWE was going on a tour of Mexico and suddenly, like, all the, like, you know, what's it called? I was going to call it Mascara Dorado. Grandma Talik got a title, and then, you know, like, the Lucha Dragons got a title, and then, like...
Or like they're going to Japan and Nakamura wins it. I think that's a little better comparison than just random guys getting titles.
All right, yeah. No, you're right. But it's just like Elgin wins here, and then we'll talk about it. But by the end of the show, it's like they're generally only a couple. It's just so weird because...
It's a smart move. But, you know, it's almost like too obvious of one.
It's okay. You know what? Like, obviously, if you're listening to this, you've watched the event. So I'm just going to say this, right? Isn't part of the whole storyline with Omega, right, was that, am I right that Agagian has never won or very few have won the
very few, never, I'm not positive about, like, a Canadian. I don't know. He might be the first Canadian to hold it.
Yeah, so when you have this story like, you know, Gage just don't win the titles a lot, and then like by the end of the show, almost everybody, you know, has.
Well, and yeah, like, and Omega's whole thing was like, you know, and he said it afterwards, you know, Okada, you've taken it as far as it can go here. Now I need to take it globally. So it's interesting because that's his, you know, prerogative, but it also seems to be New Japan's prerogative a little bit. So it makes sense, but it kind of overlaps where it, you know, maybe hurts Omega with it, you know? Where, like, Elgin's going to say the same thing, and the Bucks are going to say the same thing.
And Elgin is Canadian, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy. You've got
and Jericho, right? We forgot about that.
Yeah, you have 3 Canadians.
Singles, like, their 3 top singles champions right now are Canadians. And then the other 2 are from Rancho Cucamonga.
What is this? Like, what is this, hockey? It's so weird.
It's crazy. It's a crazy world we're living in.
I don't know if I say this enough, but I really love that Rancho Cucamonga is... I thought that was like a joke place. Like, I thought that, you know, was like parts unknown.
Yeah,
and then
real,
it's real. I was like, that's the best. Yeah. You know, I'm... All right, it's weird with Elgin. I think I'm the same way. I mean... I also, just because I guess almost my Twitter timeline, I almost don't want to see Elgin because I don't want to see anyone talking about Elgin.
Right, everyone's gonna complain and all that stuff.
You know, so
that's the beauty of being in Japan. You know, obviously those people.
Oh yeah.
Either don't care, don't know, whatever. They cheer the hell out of him. So it's cool to see him be there because it's kind of like a judgment-free place for him.
Yep. And then you had the Bucks versus Evil and Sonata for the IWGP Tag Team titles, and you know we basically gave it away, but the Bucks win this one. I thought this was a really good match. I mean, I've really liked, like, Matt never really did spears before, right? Like, this is a whole new thing for, like, him being a heavyweight, like, doing the spear, because he's got so much weight now behind everything, and he can really, like, take guys out with his dad's strength.
And, I mean, like, I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure, maybe I'm wrong, you can let me know. I don't think the back injury is, like, a real thing, but he's been selling it for...
like 7 months?
I don't know, like a year? Right. So, I mean, like, that's just good psychology and storytelling by them that... You know, they're keeping this thing going, and every match, it's an issue. You know, it's a target. It becomes a factor. So it's a lot of fun, and it adds, you know, definitely a different wrinkle to every Young Bucks match that, you know, hasn't really ever been there before. So Nick looked amazing in this match. Like, some of the sequences he had were just incredible. He just, I don't know, somehow he continues to get better every time out. But yeah, this was a fun match. Evil and Sonata are awesome. And, you know, losing this match doesn't do anything to harm them. And it even, as we saw in the next match, or a couple matches, you know, it sets up Evil for an IC title shot.
Yep. We talked about By the way, Matt's back injury is starting to get to the point where it's going to be like Cowboy Bob Orton's like arm, like he's like just forever. It's. I wish he like. I actually almost wish he like. I was upset when he doesn't wear the weight belt because I like that being like almost like the.
But it's good too because then it's like, oh, he's feeling fine today, and then it still becomes an issue, you know.
Yeah. No, it's. They're doing a really good job with that. We talked about the 6-man Bullet Club versus the Legends. Then we had Ospreay versus Takahashi. Man, I used to not really like Ospreay. Like the first time I saw him, I obviously liked him because he just does ridiculous things. And then the more I watched him, the more I just felt like sometimes he was just doing ridiculous things for the sake of doing ridiculous things. I always pick on this one point, but I remember seeing him do a running shooting star press to break up a pinfall, and I was like, that is not the most effective way to break up a pinfall. Like, you just run and kick the guy off. Like, I don't, like, stop. But it's different now. I feel like it's, I don't know, he's doing, things are more logical in the absurdity that he does most of the time.
Right, and some things are still just outrageous, but there is definitely a bit more psychology, or like you said, timing, you know, as to when and where those things take place. So that's fine. And this was a great match. This was, Hiromu won Best of the Super Juniors. Now he won the title. Just good old-fashioned storytelling there. And, I'm very excited to because the first time he had it, it was fresh, off his comeback and all that. Now he's had a lot more time to develop a character and some momentum, some credibility, all that sort of stuff. So this should be a lot of fun to see this run.
Yeah, and I wonder who he'll defend at the next shows. But I'm a fan of that division. Takahashi is just. We've said it so much.
Good.
We've said it so much, but I mean, this was Kamatachi, man. Like, so
Say
crazy.
His name properly, Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi, that's right, Tamagotchi. And now, like, we he was a handheld video game, pocket video game that was very basic, and now look at him, just.
Now he's a PS4 Pro.
Yeah, no, he's unbelievable. So much hard drive space.
But it continues to annoy me because, like, Takahashi and Evil are like the first two examples for me where, like, I've really seen the young boy aspect of it come into play, where, like, I saw these guys in Ring of Honor and I hated them. They had no personality. They were so. The costume, their outfits, whatever, were so terrible. And then they come back and they're just two badasses. It's really fun to see. It's a cool system that New Japan has, where you kind of just learn your way and then come back and we got you. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really great. Just love watching those. Just love watching that kind of transformation. Then Chris Jericho comes out with, it almost looked like Clockwork Orange-ish type, like makeup and stuff like that. I think that's what he was going for. I'm not sure if everybody got that.
It could be any, like, random band member thing, but I took it as Clockwork Orange too. Yeah.
So, man, it's so crazy because it seems like whenever Jericho goes out there, it's a different type of. It's not a New Japan match, like, and I like it. And man, all right, I've always loved Jericho's like in-ring yelling, but it's so much better in New Japan because he does not give one F. I mean, he's just amazing. I always love the ask him. His screaming sounds like. It's desperate. He's literally annoyed at the referee for not the guy for not tapping out. He's annoyed at the referee for not asking enough, like that stuff. But then just the absolute absurd cursing. It's almost like he's just trying to pop someone, and he's like, "Yo, watch me say this on New Japan tonight." Like he just goes out there and he just does whatever the hell he wants. And I expected a great match. I expected something that I was really going to enjoy, and I really enjoyed it. It's not, your best work rate match in the entire world, but super fun. Little did I think that Jericho was going to win the title. That was Naito's. If I heard commentary correctly, because I don't watch all the shows, that was Naito's first title defense since he won it, right?
It's possible. I'm not positive on that too. If you heard it, then I'm sure they weren't lying to you. But yeah, I mean, it's been a while since these guys have been around because of the Best of the Super Juniors and all that sort of stuff. And they've been building to Dominion. But Naito doesn't need the IC title. He doesn't, really care. So that's fine. And having Jericho as your IC champion is a huge thing for New Japan. So just to your other point, this is just Jericho, a guy who has been around for 20 plus years probably, just enjoying the freedom and being able to do and say literally whatever he wants. So it's a lot of fun to watch because he's just enjoying it, and if he wasn't, then he wouldn't be there, So he's having the time of his life right now. It's a lot of fun to see him in this position and on these shows and on being the lead and interacting with all these guys that you never really thought he would interact with. So it hopefully one day, maybe, possibly, it opens the door for some type of, cross promotion with WWE in some terms of way. But, that's wishful thinking right now.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable. The Jericho Cruise, which I would never... I'm 36. I'm going to be 36 next week. I have no interest in being on that cruise. But if I were 23...
I just can't, I
maxed out my credit card.
I've been to Ring of Honor shows. I've been to independent shows. I've been to WrestleManias. I do not want to see the type of people that are on that boat. I will tell you that right now. Because I'm not sure casual, normal wrestling fans, or just maybe not even wrestling fans, are going on that cruise. It is going to be the most obnoxious of fans that you can have, I think.
Yeah, I mean, at the risk of alienating anybody who listens to us who's going on that show, on that cruise, it would seem that there is going to be, I think everyone can acknowledge, there's going to be a level of obnoxious. I don't think you do any of these celebrity, because this is basically a celebrity cruise, right?
I guess, but it's it's wrestlers. It's just going to be dudes. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. It's weird.
I really wonder how they're going to separate things. Are these guys, I think you said before, they have their own floor or whatever.
Yeah, they have.
But, at some point, these guys have to be, outside somewhere, right? So, how are they going to deal with people? Oh, my God, the Young Bucks. You know what I mean?
I don't... It's going to be nuts. I can't... I can't even think about it. I mean, it's kind of scary. Look, I mean, I just got tickets to Comic-Con, all right? And Comic-Con can get weird.
Very weird.
And I'm saying this, let's be very clear. I'm saying this from the point of view from someone who generally dresses up every time I go, and I don't mean I wear the same costume for 4 days. I actually modify it. So, when I tell you that this boat ride to me seems like there's going to be elements of weird Comic-Con-ness to it, you're
But
hearing it
there
from
are
somebody who is
still-
part of that weird. Like, to the outside person, I'm still one of the weird ones.
Yes, and yet there are still a plethora of attractive women at Comic-Con. Some not so,
true,
but
true.
there also are some. However, I'm not sure that's the case on this cruise.
Yeah, Well, I guess we'll have to see what happens. I wonder, do they stream that somehow?
Man, I hope so, but that would be crazy.
Like MTV
Jerry
Fall Break Jericho Cruise edition.
Fall break.
I mean,
yeah. So, but yeah, Jericho wins the IC title here. Good move for New Japan to get more eyes on their product in any way whatsoever, and awesome for Jericho to be able to accomplish this and have that on his resume.
I know it's a different title belt, obviously, right? This is the IWGP IC title, and obviously the WWE IC title is a separate belt. But it almost makes me feel like him winning this makes him like the greatest Intercontinental Champion. Like, he already has like the most reigns, I think. I don't think Miz tied him yet, did he? Miz is pretty high up there. So Jericho's got a lot of IC title reigns, right? He doesn't have the record for like most days or most consecutive days or anything like that, I don't believe. But he's got a bunch of titles, but a bunch of runs with the title, and now he wins the Intercontinental title in New Japan. It just makes me feel like this dude is the greatest Intercontinental Champion, like, globally of all time.
Sure, he's like the intercontinental.
Yeah, that's
champion.
what I mean. Like the greatest. Yeah, that's amazing. It's just like kind of so cool that he. I mean, there's definitely part of him that was like, yes, I can always say that.
It is cool because, right, and like if he ever comes back to WWE, and when he comes back to WWE, and maybe Miz is the IC champ, or maybe they feud for it, and maybe this is something he can bring up. I've won intercontinental titles on multiple continents. You can't say that. So, it's a cool thing for Jericho, and yeah, like you said, it's another, like name that he can add to his resume or whatever.
Yeah, and then like you said, Evil came out after Jericho's. He beat Naito.
Oh
up.
yeah, he tried to beat up Naito more.
Yeah, and then Evil came down and chased him off. I liked commentary. I think it was Kevin Kelly, because Jericho grabs he hits Naito with the actual title belt, and then he takes out like a leather belt, and I think Kevin Kelly was like, first he's got one title already. He's already got one belt. That's the white one, but that's not the one in his hand right now. Like I don't know why, but that like description of like him wielding two belts, but one just being like a device for violence, I thought was I don't know, just a moment on commentary I really liked, and it reminds me why, for me, it's so important to watch these shows with commentary.
Right. I mean, with the English commentary, and for the first time, I believe, in a little while, like since they haven't had like Rocky sitting at the desk, somebody who can translate.
Yeah.
And my God, what a genius move! Because when Okada cuts a promo, I don't know what he says. So it's really great to have somebody sit there and say, "Oh, he just said this. Thank you very much." However, yes, the strap. New Japan doesn't really do things without an intention. So I'm assuming maybe we get a strap match.
Oh man!
Either Jericho Naito or Jericho Evil. It would appear Jericho Evil would be the move, but I don't know that Naito is just going to get his ass beat and be done. Naito might need his revenge and get the win in a strap match or something like that.
It's super crazy to think that. I mean, it's probably not going to be a match that happens, but you could see Jericho versus David Finlay. Just Jericho wrestled Fit
why
Finlay.
would that?
Because Jericho wrestled Fit Finlay back in WCW back in 1997, and now in 2018 he can wrestle his son and probably have the same kind of match.
But I guess, 5 years ago, Kevin Steen wrestled Fit Finlay. Again, he probably wrestled Dave Finlay at, I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
20 something years ago is a greater difference. But, Fit is, I don't know. Whatever. I get what you're saying. It would be a cool thing. However, not something that I would ever think about again.
Fair point. And then that really wraps it up for the show, right? There's nothing really else to talk about?
No, just probably one of the greatest matches of all time. And, after every Okada Omega match, it's like, wow, that one was better than the last one. Or, wow, that's one of the... It's not hyperbole. It's not a joke. It's amazing.
Yeah, this one was... Okay, first of all, I like this one better. I don't like draws. I feel like I'm being cheated if I watch something and then there's a draw.
No. Nope. Not that match.
I do. Well, I did.
It was amazing.
So this one was better.
You go to soccer all the time.
Yeah, do you think I ever like it when it ends in a tie unless the Red Bulls were losing by a goal with 30 seconds left? Then I'm like, wow, they tied it. These ties are terrible. But this one I really enjoyed more. I mean, I still think, all right, 70 minutes or whatever. I think it ended 69 minutes.
60 something, right?
Listen, it was good. It was really good. But I'm okay with shaving some time off. That's a
nope.
I don't know if I necessarily.
Where do you shave time? I don't. It was perfect. It was absolutely outrageous. From start to finish, it was Okada gets the first fall with a reversal roll up. Then he's smiling, he's laughing, he's kind of taunting Omega. Then the second fall he hits the one winged angel, and I'm like, okay, well, he just hit his finish. Is he going to hit it again, or is that the one time that we're getting it? And then the third fall, the
third fall was
I had no idea who was winning. I had no idea what was coming next. Every time I was like, oh man, here comes the Rainmaker. He would set it up and Omega would reverse it 9 out of 10 times. Then when he finally hit it 2-3 times, he just couldn't capitalize. And it was like, what is going on? This is insane. And then, the one-winged angel where he just kind of caught Okada off the reversal.
Yeah.
I don't know how he didn't die. And then, the final exchange where he hit it right in the center of the ring. It was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I wouldn't say that I'm super invested in the title picture here, but this is the first time that I think I watched it and I was like, man, I really want Omega to win. So I was definitely more invested because the false finishes meant more to me, or the way it seemed like it was going to end meant more to me because of the fact that I wanted Omega to win. Where the other times I've watched this, I didn't care who won. I just knew that it was supposed to be a good match, right? Now, it's weird, but probably because of being the Elite, I like Omega more.
Right, and I mean, it's, I think that the rest of the New Japan crowd, while I'm sure that they're, more invested than you were, they were feeling along the same lines, it seemed, because when Okada fought Tanahashi at the last show, obviously the crowd was cheering for Tanahashi. That's their dude. But tonight, or in this show, they were going crazy for Omega, and they were rooting for Kenny Omega to win. So I think they, just as much as you, were kind of like, all right, Okada is Okada. He is amazing. However, this has been a long run, and we're kind of ready to see a new star kind of get the torch passed to him. And this was Omega's time. This was the perfect time for it to happen. And, New Japan pulled the trigger, credit to them, because it would have been very easy to just have Okada win again here and move on. And throughout the match, I was terrified of that happening. It felt like it was very possible. So the way they booked this, how it played out, credit to Okada and Omega for being in the match that long. And, by the end, when they're, collapsing on clotheslines and stuff, yeah, I probably would be dead. So I'm with you. You know what I mean? I don't care that Okada hit his finish and then stayed down for a minute. Great. Yeah, that's completely believable. So it was perfect. I loved every single second of it. I was, on the edge of my seat from jump because just that much anticipation for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just because I have a short attention span, so whatever. I'm terrible.
You love wrestling, man.
I do, but 45 minutes, man, is good for me.
It's because you don't watch all of the shows, So I really think that's it, because you love CMLL and all. So it's not like you just can't get into it. It's just the lack of continuity for you.
I also think it's because I'm literally I have ADHD, and just 70 minutes is a very fucking long time. It is for me, man.
You had to watch it in threes, in thirds,
Yeah.
Okay, this is the first fall. Wow, that was amazing. All right, here's my 2-minute break. Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I did that. That's why I actually made it the whole entire way. I didn't watch it straight through, bro. There's no way. I can't do it. Look, my favorite wrestling shows are generally give me 2 hours and 40 minutes of your best wrestling, and let me get out of there. Give me 5-6 matches. I'm good. I don't know. I think I don't think you need time to make it epic. I've seen epic wrestling matches that were 20 minutes long.
No, listen, I get what you're saying on the time thing, but if my team is going to win the championship, yes, of course, I would not mind seeing a 40-point blowout, but I want to see an epic game down to the buzzer, the final pitch, whatever it is, so that atmosphere that these big title matches create, and the length, these guys giving everything they have to beat each other, the story tells itself, and oh man.
And I just want you to know, you guys to know that I'm the type of fan that once my team takes the lead, I just want time to fast forward and for the game to end and for my team to win. Regular season or whatever, the Red Bulls score 2 goals and there's 75 minutes left. I'm like, God damn! I'm just looking at the clock counting down. That's all I want. I don't need an epic game. I just want victory most of the time.
So much more meaningful when it's a hard fought victory.
And I know we're in this day and age, but just the finishers not being a finish will always bother me. It bothered me since I saw Macho drop freaking 5 elbows or 3 elbows on Hogan, and Hogan kicked out, and then he dropped 7 elbows on goddamn Ultimate Warrior, and Ultimate Warrior fucking kicked out.
But when was a finish not a finish in this match?
Well, I mean, he hit the one winged angel, and then still had to hit another V trigger, and then another one winged angel.
Well, he hit the one winged angel when Okada was in the ropes.
All right, fair enough. All right.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on finishers are finishers. I even adjust the sliders in the video game.
Okay, he was in the ropes. All right, but, you're right.
Yeah, it was just such a perfect match. And then afterwards, people got what they've been waiting for I don't know, a week, a few months, with the Bucks coming out, hugging it out with Kenny, hugging it out, I don't know, with Ibushi, all that stuff. And then, as you saw on Twitter, being the elite, Instagram, all that stuff, the Golden Elite is their name. On Twitter, Matt said Bullet Club is stronger than ever. It'll be interesting to see where they go. Golden Elite, just part of the Bullet Club. Kenny's still the leader, and Cody maybe is on the outs, or what happens there?
So just to be clear, it is currently 2:26 p.m. on Sunday. We're taping right now. I have just accidentally stumbled upon something kind of ridiculous. 15 minutes away from me, Atlantis is wrestling in the Bronx at a Lucha Libre event.
The lost city of Atlantis.
Yes, he's gonna be in Ring of Honor next weekend. Sam Adonis is there. Who else is here?
Guess you'll be doing something that you didn't expect.
Hector Garza Jr.
I enjoy that. Let me know how it goes.
I wonder if I can get.
You're not going.
Obviously, you're not going to go. The doors open at 1, so I think the show probably starts at 2. I kind of want to go meet Atlantis, and I'm going to go see if I can convince the wife right when this taping ends to go to the show.
Good luck.
I'm very excited about this. I'm hoping this happens.
Hey, there's some random people that I've never even heard of that are going to be here, like 10 minutes down the road. Mind if I just go for 4 hours? All right, see you.
I'm looking up tickets right now. All right. Speaking of Lucha Libre, because we covered the event, but good stuff. I mean, I really liked the Bucks coming out and them the Golden Elite. I think that's it's going to be really fun. I'm happy to see them back. It's kind of sappy, but I enjoyed that moment too.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll just listen. I know you're not watching it, but man, it's kind of crazy. Fenix, who now changes his name because essentially, like, I think in Lucha he's Fenix, but then in other places, and in Lucha Underground he's Fenix, in AAA he's Fenix, but when he wrestles in other places he's Rey Fenix. And Penta is like the same kind of thing. He's Pentagon Jr. When he's in AAA or in Lucha Underground, but then he's Pentel Zero Miedo.
AAA owns the names.
Yeah. So there was a press conference, AAA, for their biggest event, Triplemania. They brought out LA Park. They brought out Rey Fenix. They brought out Pentagon. So they're all gonna be at that show. Rey Fenix made his CMLL debut this Friday. It was pretty crazy. Like the arena was really full. I mean, I've been there, and I mean, I went there where there were a good amount of people, but nothing near this. Just kind of insanity. The crowd was pretty excited to see him. He can do some crazy thing on the ropes. He paired up with Mystico and Caristico. He took on, they had him take on Ultimo Guerrero, Negro Casas. So it's just some of the better guys down there, just kind of teasing possible one-on-one dream matches. So it's crazy because essentially those two companies are WWE and WCW, and these guys are wrestling freely essentially for both. And Penta, there was hints basically that Penta is going to be in CMLL soon. LA Park is already down there, so you just have some kind of it's a crazy time for Lucha Libre right now that these guys are just going. I see your face and I hate you, but it's a crazy time for Lucha Libre that these guys are just going all over the place.
I just think that I understand the business side of things. However, I mean, these guys are all over the place anyway. And if anyone wants to go watch them, they can go watch them in 10 different places. So what difference does it make if they wrestle for CMLL and AAA? Just let it happen. Let it be. Let these guys work. Let them be as good as they are. Just enjoy the benefits of having them on your show and move forward. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be a whole thing anymore, especially with all this technology and everything else. It's only going to benefit you to have Phoenix, Pentagon, and on your show. So just do it.
Yeah, no, this is it. Just for me, it's weird. Okay, I guess I could say as a American wrestling fan who is now inexplicably been drawn into Lucha Libre so much, this is like super exciting for me. I mean, nothing ever happens. Like I've been watching it for like 2 years. Nothing crazy happens. So Phoenix coming out and L.A. Park, come on, La Parka coming out, just absurd stuff, and I'm just like, yes, like this, like I'm seeing guys, man, I saw Penta compete in a small event for Tier 1 wrestling where, there weren't that many people there, like against Loki, and now this dude is going to be in CMLL, like not guys that I have to
Probably
research
the
because
same equivalent.
well, it's not, by the way. Arena Mexico is a gigantic deal, bro. Arena Mexico is the Madison Square Garden of Lucha Libre, and speaking of which, perfect segue. AAA is reportedly going to be running, or they're looking to run in September, Madison Square Garden. Like, this is unbelievable. I cannot wait to buy tickets that you will not come to the show for.
Like Jeff Jarrett is going to be in the main event title match. Man,
well, no, by that point,
that's what you're buying tickets.
By that point, he probably loses it at Triplemania or something along the way. That's in August. So hopefully he loses it before that. But I still want to go. It's just going to be crazy. Like Madison Square Garden for a Lucha Libre show? Like, that's nuts.
Sure.
All right. Do you want? Is there any other Lucha news that you wanted to? By the way, this podcast, I don't know if you guys have noticed. Basically, only people that are in part. So CMLL, New Japan, ROH, and I guess we have to start covering Rev Pro. Just people that are part of that talent partnership. It seems like that's who we're covering now.
Oh yeah. So not on that note whatsoever. CM Punk had his second and probably last UFC fight last night, and did not go well. He was just pretty outclassed and got his ass beat. Credit to him for getting in the octagon and fighting twice, and he looked, better than he did the first time. But UFC is just not the place for him. So, hopefully, if he continues that career, then he does it somewhere where he can have some success. But man, it didn't look great, and it's not something I really want to watch. A dude just kind of get his ass kicked. It wasn't fun. Seeing a guy who's given us such good memories, just getting his face pummeled in and kind of like fucked around with. It was sad.
Yeah, I saw clips, and I was actually reading Twitter along the way, and it just did not sound good. And then I saw the clips, and it was. I felt bad for the guy, but I mean, he tweeted, he's like, I'm 1-1 this week, so he seems like he's okay.
He didn't have to pay $20 million to WWE, so that was good. They won their court case, good for them, rightfully so, I believe. But take that win and deal with the loss, I guess. But yeah, hopefully he's all right. Everything's good with him, and I'm sure we'll see him somewhere down the line.
Yeah, no, I hope so too. I mean, I don't think this UFC thing is working out, but the guy got to do what he wanted to do in life, so I mean that's pretty dope. All right, so I think that would be everything, unless you really want to talk about the Graves tweets.
No, that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, so next week we'll be previewing the WWE Money in the Bank. We'll get that we'll probably have that episode up Saturday morning as usual. We've just been deciding that if there's a big event, we're gonna cover it, and we're gonna talk about it before we publish instead of doing a preview and then being past that event altogether. All right, so make sure you guys follow us on social media. You can follow us at Running Wild LWOS. You can send us an email, runningwildpodcast@gmail.com. You guys haven't done that in a while, so send us some predictions for Money in the Bank. I'm going to do this shamelessly. Send us predictions by email or by tweet. Say something, because next Sunday is Father's Day and my birthday, and I qualify as to celebrate both things that day. So just be a nice person. Send us a prediction. That's my birthday present that you guys can do. Is send us an email, runningwildpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear anything you have to say. anything at all. All right? Make sure you guys rate, review, and subscribe over on iTunes. Definitely helps us out, makes us more visible to other people who want to listen to the show. You can follow me on Twitter at rich_laconi, and you can follow my Ring of Honor coverage over at pwponderings.com, rohworld.com, and last word on prowrestling.com. So with all that out of the way, just want to remind you guys that you've been listening to the podcast that is just too sweet.
For Rich and Runz, this is the host of Ring of Honor Wrestling, Ian Riccaboni, signing off. Be sure to join them next week for another episode of the Running Wild podcast.